In the world of portable electric heat, two heavyweights dominate the ring: the classic fan heater and its more modern cousin, the ceramic heater. On the surface, they look similar. Both use a fan to push warm air into your space. Choosing the right one isn't just about getting warm. It's about getting the right kind of warmth for your specific needs, without a surprise on your electricity bill or a safety worry in the back of your mind. So let's pull back the curtain and really get into what separates these two. Heating mechanism. Let me explain the core difference, because everything else stems from this. A traditional fan heater is brutally simple. It works like a souped-up hairdryer, passing an electric current through exposed metal coils, often made of nichrome wire. These coils get glowing red hot, and a fan simply blasts air over them and out into your room. It's effective in a crude way, but it's also unsophisticated. The heat source is intensely hot, which creates its own set of problems we'll get into later. A ceramic heater, on the other hand, is a bit more clever. It uses special ceramic plates known as positive temperature coefficient ceramic as its heating element. When electricity flows through these plates, they heat up very quickly. Here's what matters. As the ceramic gets hotter, its electrical resistance naturally increases. This means it automatically starts drawing less power and self-regulates its own temperature, preventing it from ever getting dangerously hot like a metal coil can. A fan then pushes air across these large, heated plates. The result is a more controlled, less intense, and evenly distributed warmth. Speed and distribution. Everyone wants heat, and they want it now. On this front, both heaters deliver instant gratification, but in different ways. The classic fan heater gives you a jet blast of hot air the second you turn it on. If you're standing directly in its path, you feel immediate relief. It's fantastic for warming your frozen hands or pointing at your feet under a desk for a quick 5-minute thaw. However, this jet of heat doesn't integrate well with the room. Ceramic heaters are also impressively fast to warm up, often within seconds. Because the entire ceramic plate becomes a large, heated surface, the fan distributes a wider, gentler plume of warm air. It feels less like a focused blast and more like a wave of warmth that spreads more evenly. The key difference here is the afterheat. The ceramic plates retain heat for a little while after the thermostat clicks off, so you get a more consistent room temperature without those jarring cycles of hot blasts followed by cold silence. Energy efficiency. Here's where your wallet comes into play. On paper, both a 1500-watt fan heater and a 1500-watt ceramic heater use the same amount of electricity when running at full tilt. But that's not the whole story. The efficiency comes from how they use that wattage. A basic fan heater is often a dumb device. It's either on or off. Unless it has a very good thermostat, it will run at its full power continuously, often overheating the space and then shutting off, leading to a wasteful cycle of energy spikes. This is where the ceramic heater's self-regulating PTC technology becomes its superpower. As the room warms up and the ceramic elements reach their target temperature, they naturally reduce their power consumption. They sip electricity to maintain the heat rather than guzzling it in short bursts. Many ceramic models also come with an eco mode, which works with the thermostat to find the most efficient wattage and fan speed to maintain your desired temperature. Safety. When you're dealing with something that generates intense heat, safety is non-negotiable. This is perhaps the most significant difference between the two. The exposed red-hot metal coils of a traditional fan heater can reach extremely high surface temperatures. If a piece of paper, a curtain, or a pet's tail gets too close, it poses a genuine fire risk. If the fan fails but the coil stays on, it can overheat dangerously. While modern fan heaters have improved and often include overheat protection, the fundamental design carries inherent risks. Ceramic heaters are, by their very nature, safer. The ceramic plates do not get nearly as hot as metal coils, significantly reducing the risk of burns or fire. The self-regulating properties of the PTC material provide a built-in safety net against overheating. On top of that, virtually all modern ceramic heaters come standard with a suite of safety features: overheat sensors that shut the unit off if it gets too hot, and a tip-over switch that instantly cuts the power if the heater is knocked over. Noise. The noise a heater makes can be the difference between cozy comfort and an annoying distraction. Both types use a fan, so neither is completely silent like an oil-filled radiator. However, there's a definite difference in the sound profile. Because traditional fan heaters rely on blasting air over intensely hot coils, they often need a more powerful, and therefore louder, fan to get the job done. Ceramic heaters, because they have a much larger heating surface area, don't need to force the air as aggressively to transfer the heat. As a result, they are generally much quieter. The sound is typically a lower-pitched, gentle hum of the fan, more like background white noise than an intrusive appliance sound. Room size and use case. Let's talk about the right tool for the job. A basic fan heater is a specialist in short-term, directional heating. It's the perfect thing to stick in a small, drafty bathroom to take the chill off before you shower, or to put in a workshop or a garage for a quick blast of warmth while you work on a project. They are cheap and effective for these very specific, occasional tasks where you're supervising it the whole time. Ceramic heaters are far more versatile. They excel as supplemental heat sources in small to medium-sized rooms like bedrooms, home offices, and living rooms up to about 300 square feet. Because they provide a more stable and widespread warmth, they're ideal for running for several hours at a time to maintain a comfortable ambient temperature. Their superior safety features also make them the only real choice for unattended use, or in spaces where kids or pets might be present. Temperature control. Precision matters when it comes to comfort. A basic fan heater often gives you a very blunt instrument for temperature control, usually just low, high, and off. More advanced models might have a rudimentary thermostat dial, but these are often inaccurate. The result is a room that's either too hot or too cold as the heater cycles on and off with wide temperature swings. It's a clumsy approach to maintaining a comfortable environment. This is another area where ceramic heaters demonstrate their more refined design. The self-regulating nature of the PTC elements provides a base level of stability that old-school coils can't match. But beyond that, most quality ceramic heaters come equipped with digital thermostats. This allows you to set a precise target temperature, say 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The heater will then work to maintain that exact temperature, often within a single degree. This fine-tuned control not only creates a much more pleasant and consistent warmth, but also contributes to its energy efficiency, as the heater only runs as much as is absolutely necessary to hit its target. Cost and value. When you're standing in the aisle at the store, the initial price tag can be very persuasive. Without a doubt, the classic fan heater is the undisputed champion of the low upfront cost. You can often pick one up for a bargain, making it a tempting choice if your budget is the primary concern. For very infrequent, emergency use, that low price might be all that matters. However, the real cost of any appliance is the total cost of ownership, which includes the purchase price and the running costs over its lifetime. This is where the script flips. A ceramic heater typically costs more upfront. You're paying for the more advanced PTC technology, the superior safety features, and the more sophisticated electronic controls. But, as we've covered, Its greater energy efficiency means it costs less to run for any significant period. The money you save on your electricity bill can often pay back the initial price difference within a single season of regular use. Portability and size. Both of these heater types are designed from the ground up to be portable. They are typically compact, lightweight, and almost always feature a built-in handle, making it easy to move them from the living room to the bedroom or wherever the chill sets in. In terms of pure size and weight, there's not a huge difference between them at similar power ratings. You can find very small, personal-sized versions of both, as well as larger, more powerful tower models. The practical difference in portability comes down to handling them during and immediately after use. Because the heating elements of a traditional fan heater run so incredibly hot, the external housing, especially around the front grille, can become very hot to the touch. You need to be careful when moving it shortly after it's been running. Ceramic heaters, with their cool touch housings being a common feature, are generally safer to handle even when they're operating at full blast. This makes them a bit more user-friendly and less of a worry when you need to quickly reposition them. After heat and comfort, the final piece of the comfort puzzle is what happens when the heater isn't actively blowing hot air. With a standard fan heater, the moment the thermostat clicks off, the comfort vanishes. The metal coils cool down almost instantly, and the flow of warmth ceases. This creates a very noticeable cycle of being actively heated and then suddenly not, which your body perceives as a draft or a sudden chill. It can be an unpleasant, jarring experience. The ceramic plates in a ceramic heater, however, have greater thermal mass. They absorb and hold on to heat. When the thermostat tells the heater to pause, the fan may stop, but the ceramic elements continue to radiate a gentle warmth into the room for a short while. This residual heat smooths out the temperature cycles, creating a much more stable and continuous feeling of comfort. You don't get those jarring hot and cold swings. The warmth feels more baked in and natural, which is ultimately what most people are looking for when they reach for a space heater. So, which is better? In the end, the choice becomes clear. For quick, cheap, supervised bursts of heat, a fan heater can do the job. But for nearly every other application, for safety, for efficiency, for quiet operation, and for a higher quality of consistent comfort, the ceramic heater is the clear and intelligent choice.